Okay, gentlemen, welcome back to 3D Spa. Today, I'm going to show you an upgrade that I did on my saddle here. I've got it already torn down and everything else. So anyhow, just to let you know that when I got started, I used to use like a little BB or whatever, but I found out that you got to make sure that they're hard. Otherwise, you may get a flat spot and it's not going to spin or anything else. Then you lose your tolerance and all of that. So what I did is I went down and I picked up a small BB. Actually a stainless steel ball bearing. So what I did is I've got 4 of these placed right in here. Okay, so let's get this tightened in there, and let's also get him tight. But let's also check out. Now, let's see, there we go. Yeah. Now, we can play with it and get it back to 0, but the deal is, what we're looking for is to make sure that there's no deviation or anything like that. So, if you notice, the bar here actually flexes quite a bit. So that means there's no, that we are tight 100%. Now, also what I did to ensure that I'm measuring each angle is down here on this flat piece here. Because if I measure it from up here, I've got 2 plates that I'm trying to figure out which one's moving. So anyhow, get these 2 set up first, and I've got this one done and this one done, plus the 2 on the back side. But since we just put this one back in, I need to take and see if it actually moves easy. And it does. It actually moves pretty. So it should not be any stiffer than that. So now then that I've got that one done, let's go back and let's check and see on this top piece exactly what we've got here. Okay, we'll just center it back out just because. Now then, and actually you can see that I've got a little bit of plate, not much, but a little. But that's also mainly from the vibration. But it's also easy to turn. So anyhow, we've got that all set up. But I always measure from the different points to where I'm actually got everything tightening up. That way I make sure that every one of them is tight and there's not one corner that's loose. Now then, I put this bar in there just to make sure that we are solid and all. So now then, with that all done, slide this back over and let's put this piece back on. Okay, let's see here. Well, let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this one back in place real quick. Huh. Okay. Now that we've got that one all set up, now we can come in, lock this in place, and that pretty well secures that right there, right where it needs to be. So we can take and finish tightening this up. Okay, so that part's done. Now we don't even need to mess with this anymore, so let's get this out of our way. Okay. Now unlock it. Okay, there you go. So that thing's moving nice and freely, and then it locks into place. Now let's put our other pieces back on. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, there's 30, so we want 29 and a half. Now, I choose 29 and a half. One place I read or heard or something, I can't remember where I picked the information up from, but when you set it at 29 and a half instead of the 0, yes, I like doing that when I first got the machine, but I had a lot of issues and couldn't really figure out what all I was doing wrong to not getting the pieces to cooperate and work out smoothly and all. So anyhow, I talked to a friend or read a book or something. I can't remember what it was that I did. But come to find out that there is a harmonic balance in the material and then in the post. To eliminate it to the smallest degree, you set it at 29 and a half degrees. And at 29 and a half, that is usually about the best where there's the least amount of vibration. So when you actually take and make a long pass, getting it down and all, using the power feed and all, that it usually comes out a lot straighter and the material doesn't bounce around and you're thinking it's the tool post or the tool or whatever else, when actually it boils down to just your setting. That's the reason why I leave mine at 29.5, especially for this machine. So I've already got these all adjusted, got this all adjusted out, and everything is tight right here on the saddle and all of that. The thing that I did is I put ball bearings in here, which will actually roll with the machine, and there's less that I have to constantly go back in there and adjust it. Just remember, stainless steel ball bearings, or you may end up with a flat spot on your bearing, such as the one that I've got here. I was using a BB. Those are not hard enough. Needs to be like a stainless steel ball bearing. And now then that I've got it all oiled and greased and all of that, everything seems to be going a lot smoother with it. Okay. So, the other thing that I did with the stock pieces up here is I went in and I adjusted all the gibs. They were all way off, way out of balance, everything else. So what I end up doing is coming in and starting with one of them. I'll come in, loosen that, and then I'll tighten it, and then back off about 1/8 of a degree and down, and tighten it back up. Then I'll check it, and usually after 2 or 3 times of playing with it, it loosens back up and all of that. If not, then I'll come back in, adjust it out, tighten it back up, and then play with it a little bit more. Okay, this can take easily an hour at a time, getting one of them to where they actually turn freely. Now, I like mine just a little bit stiffer than normal, but the wear in time is actually going to be a lot easier. So, anyhow, I'm just going to take this one and loosen it up just a little bit more. Now see, it does not take much, and they loosen up real quick. Okay, so let's just get this one back right about there. Okay, actually that's a lot better. Not too stiff and not too loose. You'll have to play around with it yourself and kind of see what you feel like. But the key that I learned on setting those up, adjust one of them, adjust another one, and then adjust the last one. And that also goes with the ones on the side here too. Adjust the one in the middle, and then one on the end, and the other, and then the last one. And then when you get finished, everything is going to be nice and tight, easy to operate, and all. And you're going to have to constantly keep doing that. So just get in the habit of being able to do it and all of that. Okay. So in this video, we talked about the saddle and actually putting ball bearings down there. Instead of the ball bearings, you can actually take the little zip ties. This little guy. One of those. Anyhow, what you do, let me go grab another one. What you're going to do, cut this piece off so that you got this piece in here. Now, with the piece that they've given you down here that screws on to the saddle and all of that, instead of drilling the holes in there, take and mill out a slot. And then put this piece right in there, just so that he's up above the metal, but mill down enough so that he doesn't slide out. Then tighten it all back up. And when you tighten it up in there, this here will be the sacrificial. It lasts for a while. I want to say maybe about 30 days, and then that's all done. And then you got to take it all back apart, put another one in there, and tighten it all back up. I prefer the ball bearings. I don't have to do anything for about 6 months. The only thing that I had to do is make sure that I didn't get one that was too soft. So there's multiple options. If you get the bed extension, these little guys are mentioned in the little machine shops thing to actually put it, their instructions to put this assembly back together and get it on the new bed and all. I don't like going back in too many times and doing it. I'd much rather be operating the machine. So that's the reason why that I went with the ball bearing. A little bit more durable. So now then we've got this all set up, ready to go. So all we need to do, put a piece in there and test it, make sure that everything's good to go. So let's see, let's just take this piece here. Now let's get this back over here. The other thing, by turning this back to 29.5, the gibs in here, they don't seem to want to roll out as bad. You keep them in there and it tries to tilt it this way, and that long piece doesn't tilt as easily as it would that way because it's a narrower spot in there and it's easier to tilt. But at 29.5, it's got to rock back and forth and less likely to do that. That's another good reason that I do that. Okay. Now, so we got the camera set up and all of that, so let's check this all out and let's see how well we do. Okay, I gotta make sure, yeah, we didn't get that in there too tight. Okay, let's go in and let's just see about getting this thing tight. Okay, there we go. Now, what I am actually doing is when I line this up, making sure that this bearing constantly turns and doesn't skip and turn. So actually I see that it is turning, and actually I can't stop it that easily. So, and also what I'm looking at is the material. It's not going back and forth. At a lower RPM, you'll see it a lot easier than at a high RPM. So now that it's in there, let's go in there. Just give all three of them a little bit of a tilt. Let's make sure that everything's good to go. Back the adjuster off, and we're ready to start checking out and seeing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually just sit here and see what my depth really is. Right there. So let's back you back out to 0. Now, One thing I wanted to try is put that in the forward gear. Nothing's set, so let's back this off. Let's start. And now then what I like to do is get it up around 300. Put it in gear and let's see what happens. Back this one up and let's go back for one more. Now, zero is where we started. Let's go in 10 degrees and let's see what we got. Well, there we go. It's actually starting to curl the pieces, so that's not bad. Okay, let's go. Now that was at 10, so let's go. Instead of 10 thousandths, let's go 20 thousandths. Let's see what we did. Let's add a little bit of oil and see what happens. And there you go. Now it's going to curl off and do what it's supposed to. Now let's go back and do that at 31. Let's get a little bit more oil on here. And just 1,000, and let's see how well we do. Now see all of the little curls? That's the way it's supposed to come off. And here, coming right out the end. I don't know if you see that, but yeah. There you go. Okay, now let's see here. Now, this is what you're hoping to get when everything is set up and running fine. That was the last piece, the 1/1000th that we took off. But remember the angle at 29.5? The reason that we put it at 29.5 is when you come in here and line this up, you'll notice that everything has got a straight edge. Nothing goes in or out. It's all straight level. When you start doing threads, that's what you're wanting to see. That way your threads will all be the same and they'll come out looking a lot better. Okay, thanks for watching this video.